All right, so here's the skinny. Today we're talking about Baryonyx, probably one of the most versatile tames that you can get in the early game to mid game, all the way up into the end game when you're wanting to do the caves. These guys are pretty good, but yeah, today we're going to be talking about, is it viable as a primary mount? Now, if you are a big caver and if you've been paying attention to my channel for a couple days, you'll know that I am a very big supporter of the Baryonyx movement. I mean, honestly, yeah, exactly. There you go, dude. You're welcome, Mr. Baryonyx. But yeah, when it comes around to caves, especially on the island, not much beats a Baryonyx when it comes around to being able to defeat them. The only 3 caves that are even the ones that you wouldn't really want to do on a Baryonyx, well, excuse me, 4, because Skylord, you can't do Skylord with any kind of tame. But the Cave of the Strong, that right there, I prefer a Dinotherium. Dinosuchus, sorry, Dinosuchus. For the 2 underwater caves, I prefer a Basilosaurus with a with 3 Megalodons with me. Those are the ones I prefer there. This Baryonyx can be done in the hard caves with a pack of Megalodons because it is a really good swimmer, and we're going to get into that. We're going to be talking about some of the few uses. Come on, Gary, let's go. Some of the few uses that these things have got, and also just some of the things they do. All right, now the Baryonyx, starting off, their primary attack is just, I mean, it's a very simple and deceptive attack. But when I say deceptive, because there's more to it than just chomp. Yeah. They have an attack like the Pelagornis, actually. And, as a matter of fact, I think they're one of the only 2 that do have that, is when they attack, there's actually 2 attacks that are going on. One is the downward bite force, 2 is the harvest. So they don't leave corpses. Baryonyx and Pelagornis, they don't leave corpses. Whatever they kill, they harvest as they're going. Now here, let me show you. You can find something a little bit easier to kill than a stego, because that's just not gonna work. Here, let's go with this. 2. See that? It harvested it while I was attacking it, without making me do anything else, which is good and bad. I generally tend to think it's really good, but there are a few times where you're going to have to realize there's not going to be a corpse left over when you harvest with the Baryonyx. There just never is, because they always harvest on the backswing of their jaws. So, yeah. But also, another thing with Baryonyx, they don't eat meat. At least not that kind of meat. They only eat fish meat. That's it. That's all they eat. Matter of fact, I'm going to... No. Give me that back. All right. We're going to be going like this just to kind of give you a little bit of demonstration. Because while they only eat fish meat, as long as they eat fish meat, they've got a massive regeneration factor going on, which is even better. So you know how when you feed a meat to a tame, to a carnivore, it heals it for 5 points, every meat that you give it. Baryonyx, it doesn't do that. Baryonyx has got natural regen. As long as it's missing food and it's replenishing food, that's one of the biggest things. As long as it's replenishing food, it will heal up at a massive rate. But if you just keep the fish on it and just let it go, it'll eat up 1 or 2 bits as it's going, and then it'll go like that. But if you just kind of just leave the fish in your inventory, and then when you need to have it heal up, just throw the meat in there, it actually works out pretty dang well. All right, also, harvesting meat has almost the exact same effect. Or harvesting fish has almost the exact same effect. And like I said, these guys, they have their own swim animations. Pretty dang good. They also have an underwater tailspin attack that stuns things very efficiently, I might add. This spin attack stuns even alpha megalodons, which makes alpha megalodons a breeze when you've got Baryonyx. I mean, really, really good. Also, on land, they can jump. I mean, how many things actually, can say that? But they jump. They do it pretty well. See, look. Yep. Just like that. Even into the water. All right. Now, swimming. These guys, they're very, very fast swimmers. For a primary land mount, they're very fast swimmers. They're generally found in the swamps and stuff, so it means that, you know, you're going to have a really easy time swimming with these guys. Which is another reason, Xiphactinus. Xiphactinus can rip you off the back of a Baryonyx, but it's kind of rare. So while it can happen, you need to keep an eye out for that. I've only ever had it happen, I think, once. So while it can happen, it's not as rare as, say, like if you're plodding around with a horse in the water and the Xiphactinus would rip you right off that sucker and be like, yeah, I'm going to go eat this horse. You have a good day, sir. Exactly. That's exactly what the Xiphactinus would do. Matter of fact, I heard him say it to me the last time it happened. All right. So, yeah, now back to the caves. So these guys, they will go through any cave that is not the 4 I mentioned, which is actually 4 more caves. But they are like my #1 pick for those caves. Better than a Thylacoleo. I know that's saying a lot. Better than raptors, better than saber-teeth, better than direwolves, better than everything else that can fit inside of a cave. A Baryonyx will mean it literally outshines every single one of them. Just because it does a massive amount of damage, it has a very good tank ability. I mean, this guy right here, yeah, I've got a lot of XP into this guy, but most of it is into melee damage. Get it up to 10k health, and this guy is golden. I mean, golden. I bred an imprint to this guy pretty early on in this playthrough, and I have not regretted it at all. Now, using it as a primary mount with the ability to jump actually means that it can get around quite a bit. Now, scaling up certain things, I mean, it's not as good as a scaler as, say, even like a Theory, but they can still get up some things. So, while it wasn't able to go up this... Here, actually, let me... Wrong button. Oh, nope. Okay, 9. Oh, you can also fire from the back of the saddle. So while we weren't able to go up that little ledge, we were able to go up this one right here. Pretty much without a problem. But anything steeper than this, you're going to be having to jump up that. But then again, also it can jump, so that's not a big problem. Now, let's see. Yeah, going and using these guys to tame like your first underwater pets. Say like using one of them to go tame a Basilosaurus. Super good way of doing it. Because if anything comes close to you when you're just getting used to the water, if anything comes close to you, you can just spin attack and bam. And also one thing here. Let me show you this while we're in the water. Not Mr. U or Mr. U. It harvests on the spin attack as well. Yeah. And also, the Baryonyx, they can hit things very well and efficiently. So, with the Baryonyx, if you can time it just perfectly, especially like in caves, if you back up and you attack, you'll have just enough of a pushback, just enough of a reach, so where things just won't even be able to hit you. And you can just back up like this constantly. As long as you've got an open area behind you to back up into, then you're going to take very little damage. So yeah, it works out really well. Dang it, and I was going to try to show you, I've harvested up a bunch of fish. Yeah, these guys, yeah, just make sure when you're going through the caves and stuff like that, usually just carry a little bit of fish in your inventory. But then again, also a bunch of the caves that they go through, they have fish in them. So you can just harvest up fish or the Baryonyx inside the cave. And it works out really well. So, yeah. All right, with all those things combined, these guys are, honestly, in my opinion, a very good primary mount. I would put them better than an Equus. Just because of how tanky they are, how not squishy they are, how fast they regen. I would not put them as good as a Thylacoleo, but I would put them better than everything else when it comes around to the medium to smaller stuff. Better than Trikes, better than Theory, better than Sabertooth, Direwolf, all those other ones that you generally have as primary mounts. They're better than them, except for the Thylacoleo. So, at least in my opinion, because the Baryonyx, with all of its tools combined, makes a very formidable primary mount.
You'll be treated with dignity.
And I just got another subscriber. Thank you. All right. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, if you can find a good Baryonyx, then I would say definitely tame it. At least until you can find a Thylacoleo out of 10. And that's my option. That's how good these guys are as a primary mount. They're amazing, but the only thing that outshines them is the Thylacoleo, really, when it comes to primary mounts. The only downside with these guys is at one point in time, back in Ark Survival Evolved, they used to have a small enough drag weight that a Argent could pick them up. That is no longer the case. Matter of fact, I would like to put forth a movement. Hashtag lower the drag rate of the Baryonyx so an Argent can pick it up once again. That would be great. Thank you. But, yeah, until then, you need to lure these guys into a trap because bolas won't work on them. And, yeah, bolas won't work, and you can't pick them up with an Argent. But, also, you can tame these guys pretty easily. Just remember, they don't eat regular meat. They eat fish meat. When you're taming them, make sure that you get a bunch of prime fish meat because they'll eat it fast. Yeah, I would say recommend get about, as many prime fish meat as you can get. Go harvest up megalodons with a pick or salmon with a sickle. That's a couple little life hacks on how to get really easy prime fish meat is megalodons with a pick and saber-tooth salmon with a sickle. Yeah, get a whole bunch of that. Throw it on one of these guys after he's been starved out for a little bit and just watch him get right up. It's really amazing. Yeah, I mean, honestly, how many other good things can I say about this guy? There's a lot. There's a lot. Oh, yeah. They take blue kibble. All right, so make sure if you're going to use kibble, they take blue kibble. Baryonyx saddles. I mean, level 49, so only 2 levels before Thylacoleo. So, yeah. Yeah, and also, it's super easy to craft, by the way. Hide, fiber, and metal ingots. If you're looking to actually get into caves early game... Baryonyx. I mean, I'm just saying. I can't say that enough. If you're doing caves, if you have ever any intent of going and doing caves, if you want easy loot from the caves, I present to you Baryonyx. There you go. All right. And that's my, how good of a primary mount is it? So, even in the end game, when I am doing the artifacts, when I need them for the bosses, I still have a Baryonyx that I use regularly. I use my Thylacoleo for, taming and stuff like that, and getting around the island whenever I want to be on land. But if I'm doing a cave, Baryonyx, always, hands down. Yeah. There's 4 caves on the island that these guys are absolutely the best for, and it's just, there's no contest, no competition, hands down, the best. All right, so that's the skinny. I hope the video helps you out. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. I really appreciate it. If you're new around here, subscribe, and until next time, this is Phlinger. Take it easy, everybody.